Hello everybody, I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm going to give you a Palantir video. Sit back, relax, enjoy this. This is going to be one of the best Palantir videos you have ever heard. This is not going to be edited, this is going to be raw talk, and I'm going to get a couple of things off my chest. I'm going to freeball this and just go off the top of my dome. I did have a video planned with a lot of screens, but then I saw a comment earlier today, and I so wanted to make this video. So we're going to keep it raw, we're going to keep it nasty, and we're going to keep it clean in between, so just enjoy the rest of this video. In one statement, I'm going to explain to you why Palantir is winning, will keep winning, and why Palantir was always winning in the past, but nobody ever paid attention. You ready for this? This is going to be the monster statement. Ready? Palantir is half a decade ahead of everybody else. You hear Dr. Alex Karp say, hey, we're 5 years ahead all the time, and people don't even understand what that means. And people take that statement lightly. Let me try to paint a picture of it. The same way ChatGPT painted a picture of what Palantir can actually do, what AI can actually do. And honestly, thank the Lord for ChatGPT for actually painting a picture for the mainstream that all of us in the Palantir community actually knew about. You ready for this? Palantir introduces AIP Platform, Artificial Intelligence Platform. In less than 2 months, and I saw it in the comments, check my videos, I'm not full of shit. People are like, yo, we don't want you to launch this product. It's not ready. AIPCon is going to be a bust. They named it from FoundryCon to AIPCon. In less than 2 months, they had not only a minimum viable product, they have an actual full-scale working product that they actually released, and companies, huge, heavy-hitter companies, right? Cleveland Clinic, Tampa Hospital, Panasonic, huge, mega corporations came out and says, in just a few weeks, we already see a huge difference in productivity in what we can do using AIP. Now they're going to roll this out to so many other companies. But the main thing about AIPCon, ask yourself a question. How can Palantir put out a product that's not minimum viable, but an actual product? Remember when Google launched Bard? And it was a shit show. It was actually terrible. It was straight garbage. How come that didn't happen to Palantir when everybody thought it would happen to Palantir? Just check my comments on that video. And the answer is because Palantir is half a decade ahead. Palantir didn't just come up and put together AIP. Palantir always had AIP capabilities, but nobody was paying attention. So they took a little here, a little there, taped it all together, and they called it AIP. But they already had the capabilities of AIP. You don't believe me? Look at the AIP for military, the demo from Palantir, which only has, a couple thousand views. It's crazy. And then compare it to the demo of Palantir Gotham. Tell me if it doesn't look very similar. Because they already had it. They just tweaked it, made it a little bit better, upped it, and there goes AIP. So AIP was essentially always here. It's just wrapped different. The wrapping paper is different. Which brings me to my core statement. Palantir always was, is, and will be half a decade ahead. Snowflake, I think they spent 300 million. The guys, the All In podcast mentioned it. I think 300 million they spent on the AI platform called Nvidia, something like that. I forgot the name. Whatever. They have like a search, an AI search bot that they bought, and they're integrating into Snowflake. And then you have the CEO of Snowflake, he was doing an interview saying, hey, this is the future. We want to be able to not just do AI for search, but AI integration for businesses. And then they partnered up with Nvidia. Why? Nvidia with Snowflake are now with the acquisition of this search engine is going to be able to use the search engines for businesses. And Nvidia has ontology, right? They can make digital twins. Nvidia has digital twins, or what they call the real metaverse. And all together, they're going to introduce LLMs, large language models, or AIP, their equivalent of AIP, their equivalent of ChatGPT. And they even say this is the competitor of ChatGPT, competitor of OpenAI. But they had to acquire a company and partner with another company just to have a non-minimal viable product, which means they don't even have what the fuck they say they're going to have with the acquisitions. You understand? While Palantir made something in less than 2 months and not minimum viable, it was fucking amazing. And not just amazing because they said it was amazing. These are huge tens and hundreds of billion-dollar corporations, Oracle, for God's sake, came out and says, yo, Palantir is the fucking shit. We love using Palantir. Tyson Foods, we love using Palantir. Give you another example of why Palantir is gonna win. Always was, is, and will, because they're half a decade ahead. Databricks, their CEO comes out and says, hey, it's all about making large language models, or ChatGPT, for personal business data. They acquired a company called, was it Maven? Mosaic. They acquire a company called Mosaic. I think they spent like $1.2 billion. Why? And the CEO of Databricks literally came on TV and says, we want to make ChatGPT for businesses. He says, this is the whole rage right now of everybody. That's what people call them. Hey, can you give us a ChatGPT for business? Can you give it a ChatGPT for business? The fact of the matter is, no, Databricks could not and still cannot, but in the future will be able to give a ChatGPT for business or Palantir AIP, but just not as good. The fact that Palantir did not have to acquire anybody, the fact that Palantir's engineers already are doing this, the fact that Palantir was able to roll out in less than 2 months speaks volumes. Seriously, think about that. Why? Because Palantir is half a decade ahead. People take that statement lightly, but you shouldn't. You should focus and dissect every fucking letter of that statement. Palantir is half a decade ahead. We hear this all the time. I listened to a Dr. Alex Karp interview. Shout out to Palantir Bite Size. That was on his channel. I was actually going to show you this video, but I'm not going to edit this video. Raw talk. And he says, there was an interview 6 years ago where Palantir, Dr. Alex Karp, sorry, my watch is bleeding on my face. Dr. Alex Karp said, we build products today that you don't know you're going to need in the future. What is that product? AIP. Not the only product, but that is one of the products. And that's why Palantir was, is, and will be winning. While everybody is scrambling to make LLMs for business, Palantir already has it and is making unprecedented gains in the future. Now, a lot of people believe that Palantir is sandbagging and that their next earnings call is going to be phenomenal. Not sure if that's going to happen, but I do believe that towards the end of the year, Q4 is going to be a ridiculously good quarter, maybe even Q3. Not sure if everything's going to be able to roll into Q2, but possibly. Now let me tell you why I made this video off my dome. I have a comment, and I always talk about Ukraine, Russia, and I want the war to end. But I say that Ukraine is not only holding its ground, but is giving as good as it's getting because of Palantir. Not just me saying this. Russia says this. Ukraine says this, right? Partnership between Ukraine and Palantir. It's not like I'm making this up. This is facts. And I get comments like this all the time. Earlier today, I had a comment. He says, ha ha, Ukraine, Palantir is losing the war. Ukraine is losing the war or something. It's not winning. So I'm going to say like this. To anybody that has anything different to say, to describe what's winning and losing is extremely difficult. But what I could do is give you a factual statement. Ukraine was supposed to fall in 3 days. It's been a year and a half. Ukraine is still standing. Not only is Ukraine standing, but Ukraine is taking back land that was taken from it. Albeit very slowly, but they have a plan for it. But the fact that Ukraine is still standing after 3 days, a year and a half later, shows you that Ukraine is not losing. You could justify winning or losing whatever you want, but it should have already lost and fallen. And I wanted to also say, number two, about this, Ukraine is losing, that Palantir is losing this war. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. No idea what's going to happen in the future. But not only is Ukraine standing after 3 days, Russia mobilized 300,000 conscripts. 300,000. If Ukraine is losing or lost, how is it still standing a year and a half later? And how is it that Russia officially, guys, and anybody from, that area of the world knows what I mean by officially. Why did they have to go after 300,000 more soldiers for a special operation that was supposed to take 3 days? Why? So, I can't say who's winning or losing, but what I could say is Palantir, not in totality, but in a large format, a large amount, is one of the reasons why Ukraine is still standing here a year and a half later, and why Russia needs to enlist 300,000 troops. And all of those drones that you hear about in Ukraine are Palantir Sky Kits. Not every single one, but a large amount of them. The most accurate ones, the best ones. Guys, Palantir, and I'm going to make it like, just listen to me. Clean your ears, like, you know, clean your ears. Palantir is winning. Palantir will keep winning. And Palantir always was winning. Just everybody had their eyes closed and they just opened it right now. Palantir to the moon. Not financial advice. If you guys want to buy me a coffee, I have a link to my channel membership down below. It's $3. YouTube takes $1. I keep $2. I buy myself some water. I buy myself some coffee. And I give you guys my own trades for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you very, very much. Have a great day.